Hi guys, my name's Dave Bennett, and in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you what we were taught by some millionaires who make a lot of money with our tools and our systems, how a lot of money is made, even in a compounding fashion, sort of a stair-stepping compounding fashion online. And it's going to feel like a gravy train to some of you. It's going to be a lot, and almost like the legal equivalent of a hype. If you guys are familiar with hypes, high yield investment programs, those of you that know what they are, this is not an investment at all. It's just the way companies large and small compound their gains online, just website traffic. Okay, and this is a method that was taught to us by a handful of millionaires. They each had their own bit of the puzzle, and we put it all together into a program. That program is scaling very fast, and with that, we need to scale too. So we're going to be looking for AdWord account managers, guys who are funding projects. We're looking for more cold callers to land the deals. The cold caller we have now is landing 2 deals per hour, and it's almost immediately lucrative in terms of just got to step through the steps to get there. So real quick, a little about me, just so you have a clue who I am, so I don't just seem like some stranger talking. Okay, I own sites like theme2html.com. There's a lot happening here. You can go study it. We also have oldlanding.com where we do a lot of landing page templates that we create. We also have really crazy powerful tools like the software installer tool, which is basically free. And you can go and you can do all these different things with that tool. We just kind of build it on the side to make it easier for all of you guys to handle websites. It's an extremely valuable tool and one you should look at, software-installer.com. And we've been doing this for years, creating tools and creating marketing. We've got the bulk subdomain creator. Back when people didn't know how to create subdomains automatically, we built that tool. And we did that for a long time. It was really cool. Now we've just evolved. So everything that this whole website did is now on this line. It's that one thing that out of all these things that this tool does. Okay. So we are constantly growing. And so if you were to look for me on YouTube, my user account is maxed traffic. So you could just go to youtube.com/maxed traffic and you'll find me. Got over 700 subscribers in a really niche sort of high training environment. And we've been here a long time. I just want to make it clear we're not fly by night. So if you were to sort my videos by the oldest, I got over 400 videos online, like 415 or 20 now. And if you were to look even 8 years ago, okay, this is Google search keyword tool, part 1 and 2. We were teaching over it then, all right? So yeah, we've been here a long time. We build stuff like mad. We've come out with a lot of stuff. The people who do know who we are, our reputation precedes us in terms of just obsession with development. What can we do next? All right, so let me step into this real quick because I want to take up a lot of your time. I just want to show you how something works in a nutshell and different ways you can get involved. Whether you get involved with money or skill sets that you have, you can get involved. Okay, so let me walk you through this. First of all, if you want to learn about this, just come to our site, theme2html.com. Okay, that's like website theme that we convert to HTML web pages. So theme2html.com. That's where that name came from. And if you were to come to the front page of the site, then you would be here. And all you would have to do at that point is click on Streamlined Project. That takes you right here. And you can read about this thing that we're doing right now, which is called the LPE, or Landing Page Expansion Project. It's huge. This thing, once it took off, we said we're going to stick with it and keep going. So you can read about it and see what's going on. There are different options for getting involved and different things that you can do. And again, we need guys with skill sets, okay? Those of you who have them, you don't need to pay. Just come in and help us, and you earn your cut. So let me walk through what that means so that it starts to make some sense. Okay, we're creating websites that are like landing page websites. All right, so they're mobile friendly. Okay, if you were to pop down and just take a look. These sites are organized in such a way that they really encourage phone calls on a mobile phone or just somebody to call to get something done. Distressed homes, for instance. This is a project where people need to get rid of their house now. They're not trying to make money on it. It's either an extra house that they inherited with a mortgage they cannot afford, or it has structural damage, or it has house squatters that won't get out, and they just need to get rid of it. So there are guys who will buy your house, not trying to vulture you out of it, but just you know, just give you enough to keep your shirt on so that they can fix it up, flip it, do all the kind of thing that they'll do. So there you go. There's that. Now, pushing the first house out there or the website out there is great, and we keep going. If you were to go through different pages of the site, then you'll see that there are different pages for different cities and so on. Here's the point. We've gotten to the point now. Let me see. I think it's going to be back here. Yeah. Okay. In different states. Oh my God. I can't believe I got that far and then screwed it up. You know, I'm not going to delete. I'm just going to keep going. So what's important about a site like this? It does the job of getting the phone to ring. Companies don't want websites anymore. They want you to make their phone ring. They don't care what the website looks like. They don't even care if they ever see it. They just want the people to call with the right idea. Okay? And then they might be a good lead or a bad lead, but they're willing to pay for the phone to ring. So we are in the business of making their phone ring by creating websites that show up organically, by also being able to use pay-per-click, you know, AdWords if you want, getting people who are looking to see and call. That's it. And we get paid whether they choose to buy or not, whether they go with the company or not. We get paid for the calls. Okay. So as long as the call goes to the company and the call is halfway decent, it's a guy who's asking about the right thing. They didn't misdial the number. They aren't a current customer. They called during business hours and they're in the right region for service. Then that call is worth money. And we track that stuff and we record it. Okay. And we have different phone numbers assigned to individuals who pick up projects on these sites and others. So just to point this out, this site right now, the very same site, sellyourhome-now.com, has over 21,000 pages and climbing on Google. So it's for all these different keyword combinations, all these different main points across the nation, different cities, and all these different states. So if I were to walk forward and say, well, let's take a look at this. If you were just to look at Utah alone, there's 4,000 some odd pages there now. Okay, there's more being indexed as Google finds them because we're doing the projects as people order them. California, we got 4,500 pages there. Okay, if we were to go to Virginia, there's 682 and climbing just in Virginia. All right, canvassing there. So what does that do? That allows us to find pages that are ranking in those areas. It allows us to see phone calls coming in through those areas, and we can immediately call companies in those areas and say, hey, who wants to be the guy to buy these calls? Someone's got to buy them. You or your competitor, who wants the calls? And then, of course, it's like it becomes a bidding war really, really fast, right? So if we build it, they will call, is the right understanding of this project. Now, if you want to make it rank organically, and if you're looking up keywords, you'd see us in different places. How do we make ourselves rank higher? Well, websites are like MLMs. If you want your website to rank, got to get a lot of other websites underneath it. So as every next guy comes and pays for projects, they're either paying for projects on these main websites or they're getting whole websites of their own. Then the next website layers become a second tier that feeds into the top tier and then a third tier feeding into the second. In other words, we layer backlinks. Now, the cool thing about a website MLM as opposed to a human MLM is that in a human MLM, the guy at the top always makes the most money. In a website MLM, that's not true. They would be if you were backlinking front pages, but we don't. We interweave the backlinks through all the project files of all the pages. So what Google sees is this wonderfully narrow net of you can go here, 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 all the way through all the projects. So it's more of a constellation of websites working together like a cluster. And Google loves that kind of thing. It ranks those all together. And we showed examples like that for anything. I'll give you an example we did for Garden Grove factoring. Anyone who knows what factoring is. All right. In that company, okay, if we look, they own basically every front page result on here. All their different websites, all on the front page. That means that pretty much anything you would click on would be them. They're going to get the deal because you wouldn't know what else to do. You click on what you see. So that's the point. We're doing that with different industries, okay? Distressed homes, lawyer DUI, auto towing, roofing, pest control. And just to show you some examples of that, here's like a pest control website that we did. And this also has, and it's cool, I mean, there's a lot going on here. And it also has what? If we were to look, over 5,000 pages on that already. Okay, we'll put more on later. We also did a student loan website project, right? Again, all these things are mobile friendly too. Okay, so that you just click the button to call on a mobile phone, right? And for call only ads on AdWords, just call the phone number anyway. But the website's amazing and powerful, covers lots of things. It's got information going all the way down. It keeps on going so that the score is just huge. The interwoven links all through the project are massive. There's even videos down below. And then there's backlinks pointing at different projects down here. So we interweave the pages and interweave the links all throughout all these projects, which is a big, big deal. All right, now we're like 10 minutes into this. Let me shift gears and get more serious. Take a look at this. There's somebody on a call right now. There's 170 calls that have been finished. All right. And these are just calls coming in from different guys, literally about the different projects that we have. Now, yeah, see 118 calls. This is going on right now, and we've barely started. What are we doing to make our websites rank like this one? We got 16 more distressed home websites that we're using to backlink this one. We're also pumping out more. We're pumping out DUI. We're pumping out auto towing. We're pumping out pest control. We're pumping out related sites that we knit together into these massive networks. Okay. Now, how does it work? Where does the money come from? It's called performance marketing. It's the fact that when somebody calls, there's money to be made. Let me explain that right now. So I'll shift gears. I'm going to step over here. Standard call numbers for pest control. Pest control guys pay about $18.50 for every call they get. As long as it's somebody in their area and the call comes in during working hours, okay? And it's somebody who's not already a current client just calling back. And it's really a call about their services and not just a misdialed number. So the call has to last a certain number of seconds to be deemed a quality call, right? That's how that goes. Now, roofing, same thing, but hey, roofing, you know, it's a bigger job, pays 58 bucks a call. Now, what's the difference? You might just say, well, wow, roofing pays more. Yeah, but there are more guys who need pest control than need roofs. You need a roof once every, 15 years? But you might need a pest control guy seasonally or every few years, 3 or 4. Who knows? Okay, so there are a lot more nationwide callers for pest control, but it pays less. There's more competition there. Then there's roofing. Okay, distressed homes are huge, right? These guys make like a base bottom 10K on a sale typically. All right, so and it only takes like 5 to 10 calls to convert to a sale. If somebody calls with the right idea, they'll talk to 5 or 10 people and they will have the sale. And that means at least 5K they make, could be 30K, just depends on the property. But typical base bottom is like 5K. So these guys are willing to pay like 500 bucks a call, you know, because 5 calls in, they're going to have a deal anyway, you know. All right. So, and even if they're nervous about starting and we're just starting a campaign, we can start easier for them, 250 or 300 a call, get them comfortable, right? Now, auto towing pays however much it pays, something in the neighborhood of 30 bucks a call, different areas, different amounts, different distances they have to drive, different amounts. Then there's chiropractors, dentists, and orthodontists. We're already hooked up with an orthodontist network with thousands of orthodontists, and we're hooked up with somebody who talks to them all the time, who has a great deal of clout, leads a group of thousands of them. And so we're probably going to open that market up before too long and just start exposing it straight to that market directly. Okay. Now, like I said, we need cold callers. You know, there's 50 states. There's like 2,500 major metro areas across the U.S. All of them are home to chiros, dentists, orthodontists. All of them have auto towing needs. All of them deal with roofing and pest control. Distressed homes happens to often be nationwide, but there are guys out there who are working in specific areas who are very, very lucrative and would love to land a deal in any one area. Okay, so don't do the math purely on the payment per call, because obviously many fewer people are doing the distressed homes thing than the roofing thing. But at the same time, distressed homes has, you know, many fewer competitors compared to the roofing or pest control. So whatever, I mean, it's all worth getting your hands on. These are all like assets to get. Okay, auto towing in Chicago, that's worthwhile. Roofing in the Bronx, definitely worthwhile. You know, pest control in Phoenix, absolutely worthwhile. I'm just throwing it up to make the point clear. Okay, it's about the volume of daily calls in the industry and it's about quantifying the level of competition. You know, there are obviously more dentists competing in any one city than towing companies. All right, two ways to get calls. Organic results, those are the free results. If you do a keyword search on Google and you scroll down and you're kind of looking at all the different things that you could click on, like the Garden Grove factoring listings, those are organic results. It doesn't cost anyone when somebody clicks on them. If they choose to call, hey, that guy's going to pay that amount of money. So that's free money every time somebody makes a call. It's just simply free money. Now, if you want to force it, you would do AdWords. So you're going to intentionally pay some money to make more back. And that's the idea. You might pay $8.50 to get a call back for $18.50. You're getting paid to include your profit for the time you spend, the effort you spend, getting those campaigns to work. And that's where we have people doing that. And that's also how you guys can get involved. Some people want to be cold callers, right? Some people want to run the AdWords management because they understand AdWords. Anybody who contacts us wanting to do AdWords, no, we're not just going to hand you money and say go for it. You know, you're going to have to absolutely prove that you're Google certified, that you have a portfolio, that you know what you're doing. And we've got questions for you because we understand AdWords too. We're not going to shoot anybody who's not as skilled as they were hoping to be. But the fact of the matter is, we're handling other people's money as well as our own for AdWords. Other people are handing us money with the trust that we will make sure that we use good AdWords specialists. So when you call, realize that you're going to have to earn our trust anyway. All right. So don't call if you're not good at it. You're just going to waste your time. For the guys who are cold callers, man, we have more work than you can handle. Now let's talk about how money gets. And then for guys who just have money and you say, how do I get involved? I'll point that out in a minute, but I will just shortcut to it long enough to make that clear in case you missed. Come to our website, theme2html.com. Okay, looks like this. Hit Streamlined Project. Okay, takes you here. There you go. There's this, there's the video, there's the explanation. There's ways to get involved anywhere from $600 up to $2,500. If you get through the video series that we have that backs this thing up, you're going to be in like Flynn because you're going to want to. You're absolutely going to contact us and say, let's do this. Go through this video and see what's going on. Make sure you do. Now, let me get back to this sheet. I want to make this clear so that you guys can understand numbers. I want to make this really clear. So first of all, we run call reports, okay, weekly and monthly for the calls to build the companies. We record all the qualifying calls so there is no confusion. Everyone gets to be happy because we can immediately and fairly agree on what was a good call and what wasn't a good call. Anything gray line, we'll just give them a credit, you know, towards the next deals. They get a free call or two or something like that. Piece of cake. We can make the customer happy so that they want to stay. And they don't want their competitor to outbid them, so they're going to pay us well to keep with them. And so anyone trying to cheat, well, that's it. Their history will go with their competitor. It would really be suicide, political suicide, economic suicide for them to try to cheat. Okay. All right. And we want to make it work for them well. We want to make sure we dial in the callers, right? So that they're happy because then they want to keep it up. We don't need any contracts, which is great because if they walk, they can walk. If we find a better bidder, we can tell them, hey, we found a better bidder. Do you want to up your bid or we're going to walk? We have the opportunity. We're not trying to be cutthroat. We're just trying to say, let's inch our game up as we go. Now, check this out. Profits are split 3 to 4 ways depending on who's involved in any given project that's going out, okay? And that's just who wants to play ball, okay? The project buyers, they're the ones who get the projects. Like when I showed you on that first website that the folder for California had all the cities in California with a bunch of pages in it, somebody paid for that project. Somebody paid for California so that they could have the rights to all the California-based pages on that website. That forwarding phone number for California is just for them. Any calls coming through that phone number is assigned to that person and they get their cut because of it. Somebody else bought the Utah project. Somebody else bought the Virginia project. Some people bought entire websites, all right? One guy bought a bunch of them, like 15 all by themselves. And so they have all these websites sitting there. And there's all these things happening. So let's just explain, put it all together, and let me keep going. So the people who put money up to make this stuff happen in the first place, they're providing the money. We can buy expired domains with good stats. We can pay for some AdWords and do some testing. We can pay for copywriting for new websites, pay for more image optimization, so image development, optimization, resizing, cropping, HTML5, CSS3, Bootstrap websites, mobile optimize, maximize the page speed, do all the validation of HTML, everything that makes Google happy with the website so it can rank best. Okay, huge pages, 8,000 words on a page times 20,000 pages on a website times 16 websites that are backlinking each other. Can you imagine the backlinking heaven that this forms? It's insane. Now, all the next people who are buying the next projects get brought into the system. It makes the cluster bigger, the constellation of projects bigger, and Google loves that. Things get pulled up together. Everybody makes more money that way. Now, so there's the buyers, there's the website developers, there are the cold callers. They're the ones who land the deals with the individual companies, right? So when the phone calls come through and the leads pop up, the cold caller takes those leads and starts contacting people in that city going, hey, we're starting to get leads in your area. If somebody wants to pay for the leads, then we can put more effort and time into this. Who's up for that? You got to pay us this much so that we can spend that much and have some profit so that we do it for you. Fair. No one's going to complain about that. It's called performance marketing. It means to make their phone ring. That's the biggest thing we learn from all the millionaires using our system now. That's the goal. Okay. It's always a goal for companies, so that's what we do. And what's left? AdWords account managers. Okay. They take the cash and run the ads that make the profit happen. Okay. So this is for people totally involved working together to make a project profitable right away so that the stuff can happen. So if you're not using AdWords, you got 3 people involved. If you are using AdWords, you got 4 people involved. If the buyer is doing his own AdWords, then he's covering for both positions, okay? If the buyer and the cold caller happen to be a husband and a wife team and they're married, okay, then they are, again, that's 2 positions out of 4. There you go. And if somebody knows how to do their own AdWords. But anyway, let's get back to the basics. Not everyone knows how to do AdWords. Not everyone knows how to cold call. Not everyone knows how to do the websites. We have enough website developers now. We'll have more demand sometime down the road, but not right now. Real quick, if organic results are free, why even bother for ads? And then I'm going to get into the numbers. The numbers will blow your mind. Even on a profit split, 4-way profit split. You'll see this in a minute. But first, let me show you something. All right. We looked at traffic curves. Again, what I say, I said that there's okay, that's the first image in the series. All right, these are competitors in one industry. Let me show you. Organic clicks is the green line down here, and then 99% that's left over, the blue, that's the paid ads. This guy's paying for ads. I'm going to point something out. Organic results can be volatile. They can go up and down. AdWords tends to be extremely controllable, and it stair steps its way on up. Okay, I'm going to make a point about that, but I want to show some more graphs. Look at this. Big companies, small companies alike. Organic, volatile, because of things you do on your website to compete, things your competitors do to compete, and algorithmic changes Google makes in the first place. So the free listings shuffle, they just do. Can't rely on it to pay the bills every month or to have a certain amount of profit every month, because you could be way over, way under every single month. It's icing on the cake kind of money. And so these guys obviously aren't doing a lot. They're only getting so many clicks, and it's not a lot. All right, now let's compare it to some other things though. Look at this. They have this organic roller coaster ride. That's cool. It's cream of the crop money in quite a bit, I'm sure. But at the same time, look at their AdWords campaign. See that thing creep up? They're being ultra conservative and careful with it, but they're creeping up for sure, without question. Okay, and you'll notice it's a stair-stepping process. I want to keep pointing that out. Companies large and small, same thing. Okay, look at this. Organic. It's hefty enough. Take a look at this. This is 1,500 organic keywords are ranking for. They're getting like 285 clicks that way a month. Paid keywords are getting a lot more. And again, this is an industry where probably 20 clicks converts into a sale that makes them a base bottom $5,000. Okay, you can get your hands on that profit because these guys are competing against each other, and every one of them would rather you work with them, not their competitor. So anyone who's serious about it suddenly becomes interesting to them to take you under their wing instead of let their competitor do it, especially if they have any kind of skill or you're part of a group that does. But again, what do I want to say about the paid ads? Stair step. Okay. Now here we go. These guys, at first it looks small too until you see these numbers are massive. And then you realize even the organic clicks, that's pretty huge. It's 6,600 keywords, 809 clicks. And their paid campaigns were hefty, right? Probably like 33,000 a month they were paying. Well, they reached a point where they probably started to do some good stuff organically, and therefore they could drop the AdWords down to a lower level. So they already matured that way. They're not doing a stair-stepping thing anymore because they matured and they came down. So they probably work in an area, and or at least so far, they're focused on marketing in an area, and that's how far they got. Okay, just so you know. Okay, I could go on and on. You know, organic roller coaster ride. They're trying to figure out what they're doing with their keywords, but they're just starting. Okay, everybody big and small. Now look at this. This looks like a huge jump until you realize it's only 400 clicks altogether. Okay, so it's not really that big a deal. Now, again, stair step and organics, right? Volatile. And so it goes on forever. Even the company that puts the charts out, these charts, do their own advertisement as well as showing up organically for different keywords. Why? Because when people land on pages, they often click on the ads, right? Especially if they recognize the name they're looking for. It's a great way to hold your guys close. Huge companies like Trulia, you might say, wow, if you can show up for 865,000 keywords organically, why would you even? Oh, they do spend lots on AdWords anyway. Why? Because no matter how much profit you make over here, you're going to make more if you do this over here. As long as you're profitable, why wouldn't you do that? Okay. WeBuyHouses.net. Up and down, who knows what this is? Maybe it's a glitch in the reporting. But anyway, there you go. So let me get to the end of this real quick. Zillow, same thing. Showing up organically for that much, you'd think, why would they even bother with the AdWords? But they do, man. 315,000 a month or so. Okay, they're spending on AdWords. Okay, these are estimates, but they're based on tracking results. Okay, I want to make this point. What is with all that, and especially what's with the stair stepping? That's what these numbers are for here. Okay, let's say you pay $8.50 in ads to get $18.50 back because the guy's paying $18.50 a call. Okay, I'm just making that point. So the $8 is recovered, and there's a remaining $10 that gets split 4 ways if we have 4 players involved. $2.50, $2.50, $2.50, $2.50, right? $2.50 profit each. Doesn't sound like a lot yet, does it? Okay, but for the funds provider, that's a return of almost 30% in a day. Do the math, it's over 29% in a day. So let's, for simplicity, just say 25%, okay? Now account for some loss. And let's just make this simple. Let's reinvest all the money back into new AdWords clicks that we get in. So even if we're just saying one of us with the 25% gets reinvested back, I just want to make this point. At a 25% growth, assume that we can do this every day because our cold callers getting ahead, calling the next guys in the next cities over to line up the deals so that we can then include them in AdWords, include different surrounding cities in AdWords to keep expanding, because each guy can only handle maybe 200 calls a day. And out of those 200 calls, they're going to convert maybe 20 at the most or so. And so if they have like 4 techs, they're each doing 5 houses a day. And that's it. That's about all they can handle, like 200 calls a day. So they're going to pay for like 200 calls a day at $18.50 each. That's really good money, but they're making a lot on the back end. They're making like 5 times that. They're happy to do it because they still make all the money they make from their own marketing. We're just a new marketing arm for them. Now, if we were to compound that, week 1, getting from, say, a Monday through to a Sunday, all right, even if we had no more money than the original 100, we just kept rolling the money back in. This is what I mean by a high yield investment program feel, but the legal version. Okay, this is the gravy train, is getting into the stair stepping routine. Week 1, we're at like 3.8 times our money by the end of the week, you know, assuming we can grow at that speed without stopping. Just somehow magically every dime we roll back in fits perfectly. Okay, so whatever. I mean, it may be a week, it might be a week and a half, it might be 2 weeks until we get it down. But that's the point of the stair step. Every company, large and small, has got to figure out how to use each next higher batch of money to use it up fully. Week 2. So from Sunday to Monday, put us here, and by the time the week is over, we're looking at possibly $1,450 at the end of 2 weeks, theoretically. Could be 3, could be 4. Really depends on the cold callers landing those deals. But if they can land 2 deals an hour, 16 deals a day in a given industry, in a given area, and just keep growing outward from there, that's huge. Look at the end of week 3. I want to make this point. We're talking about virtually $7,000, okay, on a Sunday. And you don't even hit 7,000 between Sunday and Monday at that rate of growth. Now, again, I'm not even talking about everyone's profit. This is only one of those $2.50. One of those 25% gains rolled back in. Everyone else got their own profit and walked off with it, or decided to invest it in AdWords too, in which case we have to change the numbers to account for the new investments. But take a look at this. Just from Sunday to Monday on week 4, the first day of profit for each person involved could be like $1,700. Why are we not in a rush? Because we want to stair step to the top, which is, by the way, even Trulia had to do that. Even Zillow has to do that. Everyone has to stair step, because there's no way you can really know all the right combination of keywords. There's no way you have the deals lined up in advance. You have to stair step through it. You provide some contact, some leads in an area, call the company and say, hey, we're getting leads in your area. Who wants to buy them so we can do more? And then you do more, right? Now, the only thing that slows us down is finding the buyers each time around, right? Just to expand. But think about it. When you produce leads, they will come. And once they come and lock in, they're happy. So what do? Keep plugging in more websites to rank organically. All of you guys who want to get free money like this organically, because that's from AdWords and splitting the monies, then there's organics. That's like a 3-way split. The guy who funded, the guy who made the cold call, and the guy who did the website with no AdWords involved. What does that mean? That means a 33% split instead of 25, 25, 25, 25. It's 33, 33, 33. And what does that really boil down to? And it's really half and half split, but the cold caller gets their cut for doing their job. If you own the project and you know how to do your own cold calling, then you get that cut. If you feel like doing your own cold calling, you get that cut. There's no one to have to pay. Okay. If you want to run your own AdWords, great. If you want to run AdWords for other guys in our group and you're good at it, great. Then we can open up that door for you. You can make a lot of money if you're an AdWords type of guy. If you're a cold caller, you want to run hog wild and line up a bunch of commissionable income streams in different industries: auto towing, lawyer DUI, chiro, dentist, orthodontist, roofing, distressed homes, pest control, student loans, who knows, psychic network, anything and everything that we choose to add as we go. Okay, and anything you feel like landing deals in, because you know how that goes, you can land in your commissionable income streams, and we'll back you every step of the way to make that money appear for you and you, because this is what we're doing right now. Everyone getting involved, this is huge. And by the simple virtue that people create new websites, and we create like 20 to 40,000 pages on a website, and each of those pages has backlinks. So we can have 25 websites backlink each of 16 different websites that backlink each of 8 different websites. And then we can have sites on the side pointed in as well. Again, ultimately it's a cluster. It's a constellation. It is not really a pyramid at all. It's just guys who get in earlier wind up with more layers of backlinks than guys coming in later. They got to wait longer to reach that level. But as that happens, the guys who are in earlier reach a higher level, higher level, higher level. This is why you want to get in sooner. This is why it feels kind of like a gravy train. It's why it feels kind of like a hype. Okay. So there you go. That was all I had to say. So the only point I want to make now is, whether you're good at cold calls, whether you're good at AdWords, get a hold of me. Just so you know, Dave Bennett, that's my name. Phone number here, 616-834-6552. Been the same phone number for over a decade. Okay, guys who know me well know that. We got guys in our group who've been with us 10 years, and they are absolutely happily climbing with us through today just to see where we're at now. Okay, this is my information here, okay, just so you have it. And what do you do again? Learn what's going on, and if you want to get involved, do it. Come to our website. Theme, like a website theme, THEME, to html.com. Theme to html.com. Probably one of the best places you'll ever find. And if you want to just shortcut to that landing page expansion project, we created the shortcut this way, /LPE, landing page expansion. Read about it. See everything that's going on. And by the way, for those of you who haven't looked at it at all yet, you're just curious and you like making adjustments to sites to make them stronger, get the software installer tool. At least go there and read the list of what it can do. See if you want or need any of those functions, because they're big deals for website growth. All right, my phone's ringing. So I'm going to see who this guy is. Thanks a lot for coming along. See you on the inside.